Hello all, welcome back. Thank you for being here. If you're new here, please hit the like and subscribe button. And we'll get on to a shaving with peg leg. Okay. And if you don't know why I'm called shaving with peg leg, it's because I have two of these. Okay? Should have been obvious, but just in case. Alright, doing a head shave today. Maggard Razor's sample of lilac. I've only got one more use left in this, and then after that, that one's done. Using the Dollar Shave Club disposable cartridge head 4-bladed monster today. I'm going to use pear soap for a pre-shave. Haven't used that in a while. I just dip it in a clean warm water and give it a brush on the head. Pears is a good soap. It's a glycerin soap. It was probably, I think it was the first glycerin soap ever. It was made to replace, in the 1800s, mid-1800s, made to replace all the harsh soaps that used to be out back then that were actually skin damaging. And the guy came up with, Pears, he came up with a glycerin-based soap, excuse me, that wasn't as harmful on the skin. And a lot of the affluent used soaps a lot. They bathed more than regular people, and they always wanted to look their best because they always had important things to do. So yeah, it's been around for a long time. It's a good pre-shave. You can shave with it. Ooh, nice warm lather. The PAA Solar Flare, first use, 24mm synthetic. I usually prefer a bigger brush on my dome, but I wanted to use the Solar Flare because I just got that in, haven't used it yet. Give it a rundown on the dome and see how it does. Now I'm going to use this Dollar Shave Club razor the same way I use the Harry's. I'm not going to put any pressure on it. I'm just going to lay it on my skin and use enough pressure on it to keep it against my skin. And that's how I use the Harry's. And we'll see if I can tell the difference between the two shaves. 4-bladed monster. I believe that one came with a 5 or 6 bladed head, and I used the 5 in the Harry's. So 4 versus 5 doesn't really matter to me because the bottom blade does 95% of the work anyways. Now if you guys were with me when I used the Harry's, if you saw that video, you know the Harry's took one to 1.5 passes for the blades to break in, kind of like a feather blade, where they're kind of rough at first. The Harry's took like 1.5 passes to break in because they were rough. These are not. These are going smooth right away. Got a lot of pivot action like the Harry's. I think most people press with the cartridges, just my opinion, because most people do 1 pass and out the door, go to work. They don't do a 3 pass. If you're doing 3 passes, you really do not have to press with a cartridge. You can just let it do its thing. Alright, I got my fan on because I just got out of the shower and I got out of the shower and my phone and the mirror were all fogged up. I had to turn the fan on them. I had to wipe the phone down, but the mirror I just put the fan on it. I'm getting some good cutting action. Not bad. Not bad at all. You guys, you watch Soap Things channel? He's a smaller channel too. He's got more subs than I do, but he's still a smaller channel. He just did a comparison between two of the original Gillette cartridge style razors that came out like in the early 70s, mid 70s, 80s, which was pretty interesting. Alright, across the grain, 4-bladed monster. Let's pick up that soap. Nothing there to cut, just picking up soap. This isn't doing too bad at all. Like the Harry's, it's not doing bad at all. You may not be able to hear it, but I can hear it cutting, and I can feel it cutting, which I know you can't feel it. Of course, we don't have feel-o-vision or smell-o-vision yet. Wouldn't it be great if we get smell-o-vision in our lifetime? Wouldn't that be great? Talk about a whole new avenue for selling soaps. And aftershaves and colognes and hell, even food. Oh, going up more than across. All right. Definitely not bad. And the Harry's, after my skin relaxed about a half hour after I shaved with it, I was cue ball. I should have another razor coming in this week for head shaves. I should have two more coming in this week for head shaves. Two more contraptions like this. And my razor handle for my slant head, my Yachi slant head razor head, that handle isn't going to come in until April 28th to March 18th sometime. It supposedly has already been shipped out of China, but we shall see. Guys, I would say if you plan on ordering anything that's got to be shipped from overseas, do it now. Because this whole Russia-Ukraine thing is going to really mess a lot of things up. It already has. But once China sticks their nose into it or decides that they want Taiwan while everybody's distracted with Russia, Ukraine, it'll really mess things up. Yeah, just stretching the skin so I can get that channel in the back of my head that the river runs through, the valley. Alright, let's see where we stand. It's not bad. It's actually pretty good. But you know what? After the Harry's blades broke in after that first pass, they did a better job. Still got a little bit in my trouble areas, the back and one of the sides here. Still got some. So I probably shouldn't pass judgment until I do my pickups, huh? Okay. Bowl, don't tip over into the water. Okay. Can you guys hear that? And I'm still, even though there's still hair, that I'm not going to press. Because I did not press with the Harry's, and I will not press with this, so that I can get a fair comparison. You hear it? It's not going to get any deeper. It's not going to get it any closer. I can go over that spot 100 more times and this razor's not going to get it any closer. Okay, that's enough of that. Put that over there. Get this out of the way. Set that up there. Alright. This chair keeps moving on me. Get the washcloth nice and hot. Remove the sticky on my head, or the slickness off my head, I should say. It's not sticky. I say this with the Maggard soaps. They are slick. If you find a scent you like, they will serve you well. And I think they're pretty cheap too. I know the samples were, when I bought them, they were only $1.80. I haven't checked Maggard's in a while. See, I'm still through here. And a little bit in the back. I'll rub the alum block on it just to make sure. Cold and wet, cold and wet, cold and wet, cold and wet, cold and wet. That's it, just cold and wet. Nothing. Not a dang thing. Just some cold and wet, which is good. Which is really good. Okay, this damn chair is pissing me off today. It's not wanting to stay up against the cabinet. Wipe the alum off. Okay. Witch hazel. This time with rose, because what the hell, lilac and rose, but why not, right? Let's clean out all those pores and throw some alcohol on it with some ice blue. I looked at it and I remembered another. You could drive a semi through that hole. No burn though, because it wasn't close enough to burn. To be honest. I'll put it in the description box. By the time I upload the video, write all my description out and everything. We'll see if I go cue ball in the next half hour or so. Johnson & Johnson baby lotion. I only use that much, even when I don't. I only use that much. And I can feel it spreading all over my head. So it's not like I'm not using enough. I can feel it all over. And that's a head shave. Comparing the two, the Harry's and the Dollar Shave Club, right now, before I write the description and wait a half hour to see if my skin retracts enough to pull the little bit of stubble that I do have left up there in, I'm going to say Harry's. About the same price. Yeah, the Harry's had one more blade, but I'm not thinking that's going to matter much, because with these, the first two blades really do all the work. The first one does like 95% of the work anyways. So, but the Harry's, like I said, they were a little rough in the very beginning, and they had to get a little bit of use on them, and then they were okay, where these didn't. If you want an overall start to finish smoother shave, this one. If you want a closer head shave, go with the Harry's. Put up with that blade being a little rough for that first pass. It's not horrible. It's not like using a Rockwell or a Strangelip blade. It's not that bad. It's not that horrible. It's just a little rough. And then, like I said, after that first pass and a half, maybe, it smooths out and it's fine. And you'll get a good shave off of it. Like I said, half hour after I was done and my skin relaxed a little bit, I was cue ball. And you know I don't get cue ball often. So that was a good shave. We'll see how this one does. But right now, I'm going to say Harry's beat the Dollar Shave Club. Just for right now. See, I think this feels more than the Harry's did right through here. Harry's was a lot finer. This is rougher, so I think I'm still going to have some there. Don't know. Can't say it definitively, but just, I think, sometimes. My ex-wife will disagree with that, but she's not here to argue with me anymore, so she don't count. Alright, guys, coming up on a little over 23 minutes, so we're good there. Alright, the comparison, not side by side, but just from memory, the Harry's was better than the Dollar Shave Club. And this took me a little bit to figure out how to put the head on. There's no instructions anywhere with this to tell you how to put the head on this razor. You just kind of have to look at it and kind of figure it out. So it's not hard to figure out. If you can sharpen a pencil, you can put it together. Okay? Doesn't take a lot of mechanical aptitude. Alright guys, coming up on 24. We're done with the babbling fat guy in the camera. He had a good shave, just not as good as the Harry's in his opinion. So, done with him. You're in the chair next. Happy shaves out there, guys.